I'm up. I'm up. You like that, huh?
Nice ride.
Thanks.
How much?
Excuse me.
How much for the car?
She's not for sale.
You have good day, sir.
Daisy. I lost everything. That dog was a final gift from my dying wife.
Jonathan, you got out once. You dip so much as a pinky back into this pond, you may find something reaching out to pull you back in.
It's personal.
Where'd you get that car?
What does it matter?
It's not what you did, son. It's who you did it to.
Nobody?
That nobody is John Wick.
You working again?
No, just sorting some stuff out.
Task your crew.
How many?
As many as you have.
Hey, John. I thought I'd let myself in.
People keep asking if I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
I'm not afraid of John Wick.
Uh-huh. How good's your laundry?
No one's that good.
I thought not.
Welcome back to Reels, Booze, and Bros. If this is your first time tuning in, I encourage you to subscribe to the show so you can hear all the fun episodes we have created and for future shows coming up. For everyone else, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, rate, and review us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and whatever platform you enjoy listening to us on. What you like and want so we can bring better content to you. Lastly, check out our website at reelsboozebros.com. Once again, reelsboozebros.com. There you can find all of our social media links, everything that's on there, behind the scenes content that goes with the show, and some other great stuff. So check it out. Now, on to the Reels and Booze. I'm your host, Jay. I got Brian and Nick with me. Gentlemen, how we doing?
What up, what up?
I am doing well tonight.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been there. Again, COVID in this entire world that's going on. So we got our shit together, kind of, for this. Last episode in the Keanu Trilogy was The Matrix. And this episode we'll be doing John Wick. So what a progression. Point Break, The Matrix, ending it with John Wick. I think this is his three top best movies in there. We could even done the entire John Wick trilogy as one in the end. But it is what it is. So we decided on this. Before we go on, let's get on to the booze what we have for the show. Nick brought this today. It's from Southern Pines Brewing Company, Grand Cru. So Nick, you want to elaborate more on this beer that we got?
This is just a to-go beer that they had at a brewery when I was down visiting my dad in Pinehurst, so I figured I'd grab it. But it's a, let's see, where does it say what it is? It is a dark fruit toffee Belgian dark strong. And it's clocking in at 10.3%, 24 IBUs for those who like it a little less bitter. This might be up your alley. And 22 SRM. That's what the can says, 22 SRM. I have no idea what SRM is.
That's something we got to look up.
Yeah, we're going to have to look that up. But all in all, for me, I'm a Belgian fan, so I'm enjoying it.
I'm normally not a big fan of the darker beers, but this one is not bad at all. And like you're saying, that 10.3 does not taste like a 10.3 whatsoever. And what you said with the bitterness, like you definitely don't have it in there. So like it's not bad.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on there's no bitterness on this. For me, this is a little tough to take this down. I think I realized it's the toffee. I don't like toffee. I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff that's going to eat. I just don't like it. So I guess that's why I'm not really feeling this beer as much.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
I mean,
just chug these and go on to the
I know.
next one.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm not going to be
Yeah, we have it up.
signing me up for another one.
No.
I'd be like, "Look, I'll do a
Yeah.
one and done.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, right.
It's-
Right.
But it's okay. Like, listen, it's a 10.3. Would have never guessed it. But hey, it's pretty smooth going down for the most part. If you don't like that sort of toffee taste, I get it. I'm not a huge fan, but at the same time, it's definitely not the worst beer that I've ever had.
No, it's not. Yeah, I'd rather take this over a Coors or like Miller Lite, one of those regular.
Well, I don't know about
staples.
Miller Lite, but hey, that's a staple
Nah.
for me. But if someone's buying me this at a bar, I'm not turning it down. I'm not going to be like,
Hey, big guy, would you like a toffee Belgian dark strong? The guy with your strong arms. I tell you though, the beer that I wanted to get for us that I really that I bought from Kane. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it because it's another high percentage beer. It's called the AK-47.
Oh, the Icarus.
Yes, I'm sorry. She's not using that.
And that's a stout. That's a delicious,
Yes, so-
delicious beverage.
Excuse me, Icarus. Icarus AK-47. So I'm very excited to have that. I know I'm definitely gonna have it. I think I'm gonna be calling out of work tomorrow. So I don't know how you guys feel.
setting it early.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. So we'll see how it goes as the night goes on. All right, so on to the background. So John Wick is an American neo-noir and action thriller media franchise created by screenwriter Derek Kolstad and owned by Summit Entertainment. Keanu Reeves plays John Wick, a retired hitman seeking vengeance for the killing of his dog given to him by his recently deceased wife for stealing his car. The franchise began with the release of John Wick in 2014, followed by two sequels, John Wick Chapter 2 and John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. So the first one was 2017, 2019 for number 3. All three films were considered critical and commercial successes, accumulating a collective gross more than $587 million worldwide. A fourth installment of John Wick Chapter 4 is in pre-production, and has a release date of May 27, 2022. A fifth installment is also in development and will be shot back-to-back with the fourth film in 2021.
Love it.
So at least 2021 is bringing something very well to this.
Now, this is based off a comic, right?
No.
A graphic novel.
No, I'll get a little BTS on there.
Okay.
I always hit it up on that I found.
Okay.
All that stuff came later on.
Okay. Oh, gotcha.
After there for like some background story, I want to say, but there's some BTS where loosely based on some sort of incident that happened
Gotcha.
in our time frame.
Gotcha.
So I don't want to delve too much into the background, but that's pretty much it for that what I got. And so we'll go with Rotten Tomatoes, 86% of the tomato meter. 81% audience score. IMDb 7.1 out of 10. The Metacritic, so the Metascore of 68 out of 100. Metacritic is fucking bullshit. The user score is 8.1
That's actually a high
out of 10.
score for Metacritic.
I know, whatever, garbage. So that's what we got for the scores on there. Everyone seems to be at least a B plus or higher for this movie, which was again this movie. I don't think they ever planned to have these many like sequels stuff like that. It was just
Definitely
like
not.
it was more like a one and done, and it was done so well.
This is almost what you call a cult classic, because the beginning of this movie, like
It is
you
a
didn't,
cult classic.
You didn't know what to expect.
100%
Yeah,
it is.
it's a cult classic.
You didn't know what to expect when you first saw it. Like it was just like it has potential because it's kind of like on the like off the Taken side. So it's just one of those sort of things. Like it's sort of similar premise, and you're just like what's gonna happen. But this movie just for me takes it up another notch. So I'll just leave it at that.
Oh yeah, it's very very good. And so again, as you said, it starts off a little slow because you're like, what's he going on in his bed? He's watching videos of his deceased wife. Then they come in and they start fighting inside his place. And then I love how the cop shows up. We'll get to that later. And then there's like lulls in between, but not like bad lulls. There's like to delve in with the story or what's going on. You get the idea of who this character John Wick is. Then it starts open. Slowly, the door opens up to this world of like assassins and hitmen, and it's fucking crazy. Then the hotel, and then how of a badass he is, and the boogeyman, and oh my god, it's crazy. So Nick, what do you think?
So, I think of the three of us, I'm probably the one that likes this the least, but that doesn't mean I didn't like it. I thought it was a phenomenal action movie. I mean, some of the things that you saw in there, the way that guy, I mean, like I made a note, like the way that they had him use like a handgun was just like, I've never seen anything like that in a movie before. Like it was almost like he was throwing knives the way he was using that pistol. It was unbelievable. But For me, you know, it's kind of like you go out for the meat and the potatoes, and all you got was the meat. You know, there was no substance for me. I think that if we could add a little more story, a little more character development, I think that for me is what knocks this movie a little bit.
So my question to you on that is, are you upset that you don't get to see more about like what his wife was like?
Yeah, I think that's really
that's what's missing for you. Like,
and you know,
fair enough point. I get it.
Just something, some sort of, even if it was a little more history between him and Vigo or whatever it may be, just some sort of.
I'm okay with that. I think the one thing if they could have expanded on it, you could have had a little bit more on like was the wife.
Yeah,
like, give me an extra 10 minutes in the movie.
Right.
It's not a long movie.
Just,
it's only
right.
It's an hour and 25 minutes.
No,
or whatever.
it's an hour and 41.
Oh, an hour and 41. Either way,
Yeah.
it flies through.
Right,
it does.
Like, you could have gave me to make it an hour and
just
50.
something. Just
and
something.
Give me some time with the wife.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm nitpicking. I know I'm nitpicking, but for me, that's the biggest thing that's lacking in this movie. Otherwise, it is nonstop. You don't realize how fast the movie's going. The next thing you know, you're at that last scene, and you're like, "What the hell did I watch?" But you know, it was a good movie. It was a really good movie. I just felt that, like I said, you go and you're not gonna complain because the meat's phenomenal. But you're kind of like, where's the potatoes?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. I would have to say I would have enjoyed a little bit more of the background with the wife, a little more scenes going on there. Then you wonder like a couple more flashbacks as opposed to him just always bringing up that video on the phone and the same thing. Maybe do a little bit more different flashbacks. Maybe that could have helped out better with the movie because I do like the fact that where you don't know who this John Wick is. And how he's the boogeyman killer.
Yeah, and
that relationship between him and Vigo, like, and how he established that all that stuff going on. So, and you realize, wow, because in a sense they build that through him fighting and everyone else. It's not just like through words; it's actually through the action of the film. You realize, okay, he's the motherfucker that did all this. They used John Wick to build his empire, and that they show it throughout the entire movie. But I got you, Nick. I totally understand. Look, I'm at that age where now, like, I do enjoy a good like substance there. Like, action is just always everything.
Right.
Listen,
So.
And the other thing that I put, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I got one more thing I got to talk about is what I don't understand watching this movie, and that really bothered me more than Keanu being thrown off a freaking club second floor and walking away, hitting the ground and walking away, which was great. The way they did the cinematography on that was great, that you see it at the top and then it shows you the floor and all of a sudden you just see him come down and hit it. But what bothered me more than that was how did they maintain their empire with the thugs they had? Not one of these guys came cocked with a gun to John Wick. If you know this guy is coming after you and he's the baddest of the baddest, how do you not already have a gun cocked? And they somehow maintained
they had
their
empire.
control.
Yeah, some sort of empire. So.
You know
Was it like, you know, by numbers because they had so many thugs in the
Maybe
past?
they said John Wick built his empire, and you only hire him. Again, he's from that world of assassins, so you only hire him to do all the dirty work that needs to be done. So those low level guys probably never knew about him. He has a son that he's like, who the fuck is John Wick? Who the fuck is Baba Yaga? We don't know who the fuck he is, but Vigo knew,
which is the best fucking assassin nickname ever, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
Baba Yaga. It's so good.
The boogeyman.
It's so good. The man you come to kill, the boogeyman.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great I love. All right, I don't want to go too further in there, but like, so when you think about it, so it's probably the fact that like because this is the world of assassins. You know, you only want your name known by low-level guys ain't gonna know what's going on. Kind of reminds me of like how I was like in Iraq. Like they hear about these like bad guys. They're like, I don't know, he looks like this. I have no idea what's going on. We finally find him. It's like, okay, this is the bad dude
He's
they
a pretty bad
described.
dude.
Right.
So, well, most of them really were not. They're a bunch of pussies, but that's a different story.
Yeah, well, we won't get into that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But was your gun at your hip when you were going to see him, or was it up? That's my point, right? They did say John Wick's here, and everybody knew
like,
John Wick was there, but nobody was walking around the corner with the gun cocked.
Yeah.
Right?
He was ready.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
were going to pull. Every guy was going to pull up his gun.
So the correct term would be unholstered as opposed to cocked is when you. All right, I'm not get too far into that. But I got
You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, I got
That's
you.
even worse. So yeah, it wasn't even. They didn't even have it unholstered.
It was
forget
hanging out.
cocked.
Yeah, I got cock and cock. All right, so that's done for the reviews. We're gonna.
I'm going to take my review? No, I was just kidding.
I
I just got one more comment.
No,
on
of
the
course, let's
reviews,
go.
and then I'm done. The muscle cars. I absolutely love the use of muscle cars in this movie.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Whether it was the old ones to the new ones, I loved it. I loved that it was the muscle cars. It wasn't these freaking, and I'm Italian and I shouldn't go against this, but this Ferrari shit, this Porsche shit, this Corvette shit. It was, the good old fashioned muscle cars, and I love that.
All about engine. So yeah, very nice.
So for me, and I guess this will be kind of like my review of it. Like, I love this movie, hands down. And to be honest with you, I say this is my favorite Keanu Reeves movie. And so I'm scoring this like as a 9.
Ooh.
Hands down.
9.
Like I love everything about this. And this movie opens up so much, and it's like I want to know more about this whole entire world that they now like thrust us into. And I'm just like, fuck, I want to know about the assassins. I want to know about the families. I want to know about the Continental. I want to know who puts this stuff out. And then eventually, as you go on, you get the high table and all this sort of stuff. Like, I want to know everything. And how they set that up was so good because they give you enough information, but they always give you, like, leaving you wanting more. And it's just like, fuck, man, it's so good. And everything about like Keanu in this movie, like, I think he was phenomenal. His stunt work and everything that he does, because if you do all the behind the scenes sort of stuff, like, that's him. He's doing all this sort of work.
Gotcha. Jumping up ahead.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm just like, it's amazing. And how they shoot this movie and all the stuff that he does, how physical, the fight scenes, phenomenal, choreographed amazingly. Like, it's a simple, basic story, but I get everything that I want out of it. And like I said, I love this movie. I will watch it every single time it's on. Like, it is fantastic. That's how good. Like, love John Wick. Give me more right now.
So you're telling me you have
Sign me up, John
You have
Wick.
a fever and only caliber. I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. So you have an appetite, and John Wick is the only one that's
Yeah,
gonna
sign me up.
satiate
Sign
that.
me up. John
Gotcha.
Wick 4, John Wick 5. I am fucking fully in. Like, I want to know everything about it.
So you want
Like I said,
more?
He's the best assassin. He has the greatest fucking nickname, and how they build up his character, and we'll get into this. Fuck, so good.
Just imagine him in his prime.
That's what. Oh my god! Like,
Think of this as like, is this like the Last Dance? The John Wick that's going on? We're talking about. It's like, I took that personal when they killed my dog.
I get it, but it's fuck. It's so goddamn good.
Okay, I think Brian might be sporting some wood or pitching a tent
Yeah,
over here.
listen,
I think he is 100%.
So we'll see.
He's
All right.
really excited right now.
So I can't wait to see what's going on with this. So we're gonna come back. We're doing our favorite scenes, get the meat and potatoes of here, as Nick stated earlier. Got a lot of meat going on, but not too much potatoes. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I heard you struck my son. Yes, sir, I did. And may I ask why? Yeah, well, because he stole John Wick's car, sir, and killed his dog. Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now back. Reels, Booze, and Bros, a.k.a. RB2. Now, let's get into it. Favorite scenes. Brian? You start.
You're gonna.
Yeah, of course I'm going with you, man. You were like a diarrhea of the mouth. How much you love this movie? Let's go. Let's go. You're
I
on
get
the
it.
spot.
All right, so I tried to limit my scenes. So basically, how
So
it
what do you
is-
got, like 15?
Nah.
The movie was an hour and 41. It was an hour and 39 minutes of scenes.
I got 7 scenes, and I'll tell you, most of them are in the beginning of the movie. Literally, the first like hour of the movie are most of my scenes. So I'll go with that. So basically, the first scene I have is, it's tough because how the whole movie's set up in the beginning, I want to know a little bit more. And like how you were saying about with the wife, you know, I pick it up from after the funeral and when John gets the dog. So that's my first scene. Because, to be honest with you, like, I feel
Because you're a lover, not a fighter.
well, yes, that too. But to be honest with you, I feel like that is Keanu Reeves' possibly greatest acted scene he's ever done. Just because of how, when they're reading the letter back that the wife wrote to him, and I've never seen him like break down and show that sort of emotion in it. And that part right there just got me. And what the wife wrote in that note, first off, was beautiful. And second off, like how she like said, you need to love something else besides just that car. I love everything about that scene. And when that dog comes out, I'm like, oh God, this beautiful dog. You know, would you
like a tissue?
It gets me every time. It gets me every time.
Ladies, he is single, and he's an emotional man.
It gets me every time.
Tell your friends.
Because when you see that dog and it comes out and it just looks at him and you're like, oh man, how could you not? Like, it's a beautiful scene. And like I said, I think it's Keanu's best acted scene he's ever done. Just to show the range that I've never seen him do like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I got to say about that, Brian.
That was perfect. Not going to lie, that was great. So, my second scene will go into basically what you were saying is, and on the comeback is Aurelio's garage.
John Leguizamo, fucking love him.
Fuck, man, that was a nice fucking cameo.
Perfect fucking casting for him.
Yes.
He's like some of a scumbag, sleazebag, but he knows his place, and he's like, bro, John fucking Wick.
But he plays a hard ass, and how he stands up to the kid, who I can't fucking stand. Like, he just fucking punches that motherfucker right in the face, just like, hey, you know what you just did? And because they don't know who John Wick is, but...
Nope.
A fucking nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
That's who John Wick is.
Who the fuck is Baba Yaga?
Yeah.
A fucking nobody.
Like, he's giving the description of, like, John Wick, and you're just like, fuck, man. Like, it's just like, this makes me buy into the whole movie because of, like, Aurelio. And he's like, just telling
When
him,
the
like,
chop shop guy is about to fucking shit a brick because
Yeah,
he knows
and he's like-
what car is in his fucking shop right
Exactly.
now.
Where did you get that fucking car?
yeah, he's like, I asked you again, where'd you get that car? And then he just, because he knows.
Listen, Theon Greyjoy from fucking Game of Thrones with no fucking dick.
But it's just like how he sets it up, and that's what makes me buy into this movie 110%. Because everything is built in that perception, and it's like John Wick is like he's the upper echelon. He's the Michael Jordan of assassins.
He is, because that's so good, because it's like, that's why it hints so well, like, because he retired, like, who's this fucking guy? And that's why his nickname is so fucking good. He's the guy that kills the boogeyman. You're like, what the fuck, the fucking boogeyman? So I'm sorry, Brian.
No.
Continue
So
on.
all right. So that was like I said, that sets up everything that you need to know about John Wick, and you're just like, all right. So I'm like, all right, I'm in, love it. So now I'm kind of stretching it into one really long scene because and this is Vigo going off on his son and then going like describing who John Wick is, and you're just saying like, hey.
So you really have 8.
Yeah, technically 8. So
Nick is definitely keeping count over here.
right,
Wait a minute. Hold on.
All right, so when Vigo's describing John Wick and saying like he's, Baba Yaga, and just giving him everything, and that whole like monologue that he gives is fucking awesome. And the kid is, I could handle it. You could do nothing.
This is like
You can do nothing because you will do nothing.
Let me for me, that moment, I'm like, this is why I hate fucking millennials, is because they have no idea what they're doing. They just run their fucking mouths and they think they could do fucking anything. And to me, this kid is like the epitome.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right on that.
What I hate about millennials.
He's
this guy built your father's fucking empire, and you think you can take him on?
Yeah.
Because you and two of your buddies fucking sucker punched him basically with that bat in the middle of the night in his house. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's exactly. He's the epitome of the rich kid.
Without a doubt.
Influenza kid. So his dad got help from John Wick to build his empire, and so this kid had everything given to him, and everyone feared him because his father would kill someone, would get John Wick to kill them.
Yep.
So he thought he was a hard ass because, like, listen, because of my last name. Nuh-uh, bro.
No.
You ain't Theon, you bitch.
So from there, from that part to the second part of the scene is when he's talking to like his, what are we gonna say, concierge, whatever.
Yeah, it's a concierge at the hotel to check in.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's him.
So-
If Rabbi was here, Rabbi was here, our friend Mike, he would know exactly what he would be because he dealt in the hotel business.
So when he goes to the Tesca crew, when they go to John Wick's house, so I call it.
No.
Oh.
You're confused.
I thought you
Not
meant-
the concierge.
Oh, he said concierge.
He's going back to the mob term.
I'm going to Godfather.
Which they're fucking Russians, so no, we will not call them that.
No.
So, but
No.
that's
No. He is their helper. We can call him.
Okay.
We're
All
not
right.
going to give him that title. They're the mob. And since when would the Italians let the Russians get in? I'm sorry. I'm going on a tangent.
All right,
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
All right, I get it. All right. Either way, when he tells his guy to say Tesca crew, and that's what I call that scene when they go to John Wick's house, and then it's like John Wick fucking fighting 12 dudes.
And that's like one of
Yes.
my scenes, like that.
So
Yeah, I agree with that one.
That first
That scene
scene makes you buy into
Yes.
everything
Yes.
that they
Yes.
said about John Wick.
Yes.
He's fighting him in the dark, and these guys have all this stuff, and he just does all
and
these fucking
he's
moves.
ready and like not like coming out of bed sleepy eyed.
Yeah,
like
no.
what the hell's going? Like he's ready to
Oh
pounce.
yeah, no, he was ready to go
He's
'cause
that
he knew
fucking
it was
tiger
happening.
crouched, ready
He
to
knew
go.
it was happening because obviously shit went down when they called. They had the phone call.
Yep.
But he's like, oh, it's on now. Like it's
Yep.
going down. But he's got his suit on, and I love the fact that he fights in his suit every single time.
Yep.
But I've never seen kill someone in so efficiently, like shot to the head, shot to the chest, boom, boom, boom,
Right.
like all that sort of stuff. And then the one kill that
Double
I love,
tap.
the one kill that I love is when he has the guy's head over like the kitchen counter,
yeah, the kitchen counter.
and then just fucking slams down on
Breaks
it.
his
Yeah.
fucking neck
my
right
Yeah.
there.
God. Like I was like, I've never seen this before. This
Yeah.
is, oh my God. So I'm buying into everything, and I'm like, John Wick is a fucking man. I love this shit.
I like how the scene ends with, well, there's two parts
Yeah,
because like
yes.
then
Yes.
the
Yes.
cop shows up. Hey,
That was great.
John, you
You working again?
you
John?
working again, John? No, I'm sorting stuff out.
Yeah.
But then then again,
Not just some stuff out.
but then I like
Nice
how
talking
he
to you.
or, does it end there or does it end when he brings in like the guys? It's like, John,
No.
glad to see you working again or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
He gives the gold
So
coin.
To me, that's like another.
I think so.
scene.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't
Another
sure.
scene.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
honestly wanted to put that in there, but because again, like I was saying, this is everything that you want. This leaves you with wanting to know more about the whole entire world.
Yes, because it's
that they're living
opening
in.
up.
Right.
So not only does a cop know who he is,
How they all use the gold coins.
I want to know how you get a gold coin,
Right.
And what dispenses
What's the
this.
value of the gold
Exactly,
coin?
like,
how do
all
you convert
this
that
stuff is
gold coin
encompassed-
into real money? You know,
All
what
this
I'm
stuff is
saying?
encompassed into a whole world.
I'll give you that.
So then it leads me into the next scene is walking into the Continental. And then he gets into the fucking New York. He goes in the fucking beautiful fucking hotel, sees the you know, the front desk clerk, who's I guess not really the manager, but
He's
you
the
know,
concierge.
Yeah.
And
Concierge.
I gotta tell you, that guy, and I
love
don't know him by name, but he's one of my favorite actors of all time.
I love him.
everything he's been in.
He's great.
He's Lance Reddick.
Lance Reddick.
Okay.
And it's a shame I don't know his name because every time I
But
watch
he's
him,
great.
I enjoy
He's
him.
phenomenal.
He's great, especially in this role.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't say much, but what he
No.
does, fantastic.
He's in a
Yep.
video game I play. Destiny. He's in Destiny.
Yes.
Yes, he's the voice of one of the characters.
Yep.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
But
So anyway, Brian.
so everything with the Continental.
The Titan guy, right?
Yes, that's him.
Everything with the Continental is fantastic. Checking in, once again, sliding the gold coin over. Like, we have you for 2 nights. Business news, I may have you longer.
Right.
You know, and then they go to the underground bar. And then you have,
going
they
through the
have
entire-
like
the kitchen,
everything.
everything in
It's
stock.
so fucking cool. And I'm like, once again, you're leading me down a road where I want to know more. This whole movie, I want to know more. Yeah. I need to know what's going on and how all this stuff happens.
Yes. Before we go on, I want to say every character that was cast in this, phenomenal.
They did a great job.
Ian McShane as a Continental.
He was the best
as the guy.
Hello, Jonathan.
Yeah.
I love that he called him Jonathan.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I'm like, this is such. It's like he's kind of like knowing John Wick in his place, but yet putting him in his place, but yet with a mutual respect.
Right.
But at the same time, I kind of feel like he's almost like a father figure to him.
Yes, a mentor.
But
father
I feel
figure.
like that more about with William Dafoe's character.
A little bit, yes.
That he's more of a mentor for him.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that was probably a mentor.
I'd say an older brother, consider with William Dafoe on that, because like he I want to say William Dafoe was probably there longer, and John Wick came in and kind of like,
oh yeah, he has to be,
because he's looking out for him, obviously, because that one scene where he fucking
and like, did you not like the whole time think like, was William Dafoe protecting him, or was he protecting his $2 million hit? You know what I'm saying? Until the very end.
Until the very end.
Like, did you not question like whether he was saving his
Yeah, I
kind of like you think you want to believe, but you don't know.
Because
yeah.
It's the world of assassins. So you don't know,
right?
And you're like, oh,
and $2 million's $2 million.
Yeah, like and like when you first see it, like I wanted to believe William Dafoe is going to be like, hey, that's my guy. Like, because he went to the funeral and he talked to him. He's like,
right.
He's like, I wanted to see how you were doing.
Yeah, but then he accepts a contract that quick. And so, and I like the fact that it's not like 110 million, 512 million. Yeah. It's like $2 million. So it's like, wow, okay. So it's like money we can kind of, I still can't grasp the fact it's $1 million.
It's not for us super
listen, it's not a fucking NBA contract going on. So it's like, this is great. So you understand, like, that's a lot of money in this assassin world, because listen, they're just like regular, like us guys, not getting paid that much, kind of.
Yeah.
Just enough to live in big houses. With a 60s Mustang. And what was that other car? Was it an Infinity? Or?
No, it was a Dodge Charger. It was a Dodge Charger. Yeah.
No, the one in his garage when they knocked in the window that he couldn't drive it. It was. I'm pretty sure.
No, that was an SUV.
That was a Lexus.
Yeah, it was an SUV.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was an Infinity or a Lexus.
Yeah, it was a high end car.
Yeah,
I didn't give two shits about it.
Yeah.
It was no.
Well, he had those gold coins. He had money. John Wick.
Oh yeah. But you know,
obviously
just scraping by as an assassin.
He's the best of assassins from what it's made out. So he had money.
Yes,
it wasn't. Obviously, he wasn't working, so he didn't have to worry about going to collect a paycheck anytime soon. He wasn't going to McDonald's on the bus route, so he was good. But
I see. What else you got, Brian?
All right, so after the Continental, my next scene is a little bit away, but it was when I call it the bathhouse club killing scene.
Same thing I named it too. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
It's a bathhouse nightclub. So
yeah, so I love when he kills the first friend.
With the over the counter, over the sink, with the forearm.
Yeah, and then there.
Love when he kills him then. And to be honest with you, like I was a little disappointed in the beginning of that like that part when they're in the bathhouse and he could have killed Yosef right off the bat, but he just didn't while he was.
I think he wanted to talk to him and get some answers from him and stuff like that.
I don't know if he wanted to get him. I think he just to be honest, I think he just wanted to like snap his neck and like get him like
probably like you know what a more intimate kill as you would say.
Yeah. I think that was
so
the way.
Let him realize like remember me, I'm the one that fucking.
But in the end, he killed him that way anyway.
No, he killed him quick. And
he went up to he like in between the Connexes and stuff like that. He went up there and what did he say? Like this is not for sale, bitch, and boom.
He had a chance to kill him, and he looked right in his eyes, and the kid knew he was like, I'm fucked now. Like, because he was trying to be a badass, so he's like, I'm not scared. And then, next thing you know, John Wick's coming through, and he's looking at him as he shoots the guy right in the fucking head, and he's looking right at him like, you got no fucking chance, kid. And he's just looking at him like, oh shit.
He may probably shit himself and never even realize
and he's just running through, and then John Wick's just fucking killing everybody. And I wish I got a body count on how many guys.
Oh, I think
like he killed in that club.
I think I might have
but
something.
It's phenomenal. Once again, You know, like the tactical shooting and like shot to the chest, shot to the head, setting him up like, oh, he's hiding. He shot the guy in the leg. It comes out and boom, shot in the head. Like everything he does, he's just like, fuck, this guy is so good with what he's doing. He's like, this is why he's the man. Like, love it. My next scene would be the church scene. I like that one because like it's
inside the church or outside the church?
Inside the church.
Okay.
And going into the outside. So like you see that and you find out obviously it's a front. And you see the people in there that are like heads down, like praying. I'm like, these fucking guys, like, no fucking way are they like just praying. Like, so he
even
walks,
the priest. Did you see the priest?
Yeah,
Like,
all fucking tatted up and everything. Easy, my child. Yeah. Fuck you, bro.
Yeah.
But just like, he walks in with this big fucking bag and no one does anything.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
Once again, you bring up that. Thank you for bringing up that point. This guy walks in with a big bag and nobody does anything.
Listen,
how did they maintain this control for
it.
so
Listen,
long?
Nick, you are not wrong. And obviously because John Wick set him up to be these
and
guys.
you know this guy's out and about, hot to trot.
Yeah. And you would think, but like, he's already killed 50 of our guys. Everybody be on alert, right? You would think that's the way. So, like, I love everything about that scene. And when he's like, the priest is like, oh, he'll kill me. Uh-huh.
And so will I.
Yeah.
But it's just like, burns all the
It's
evidence.
either now or later, brother.
What do you want? You want it to head now? Because either way, I'm going to get in. But he just burns everything to fucking ruin the guy, you know, and he knows it. And then when he comes out, and then he's just...
Which, once again, why you never put it all in one place, right?
Yeah.
You got to diversify, right? Just like Wu-Tang said in the Chappelle show, you got to diversify your shit.
No, you're not wrong on that.
Vigo.
Yeah.
Should have came to me, buddy. I could have put you in a much better position than the fucking Allstate guy.
But then I do like when he's outside and how he's just picking the guys off with like the fucking machine gun and just like boom, boom, just like this fucking.
Oh, he was
guy.
a sniper with that thing.
Fucking insane. So
Jesus Christ. So I just found a website, John Wick kill count. John's house, he had...
I thought it was 12.
He killed 13.
Oh, 13.
He hit 19 hit
Lucky
and
number
1
13.
miss. 95% shot accuracy, 11 headshots. The red circle of what was going... This is fucking crazy. I love the internet.
So that's the bathhouse, the red circle.
So the red circle is the bathhouse. 52 hit, 13 miss, 83% accuracy, 23 headshots, killed 28. The church, 28 hit, 5 miss, 12 cover fire, shot accuracy 84%, 7 headshots, killed 16. The compound, 7 hits, 0 misses, 100%. Headshots 6, killed 10. Then the dock, again, killed 10, 100%, 16 hit, 0 miss, 2 headshots. Fucking Christ, man.
There were 10 people at the dock?
That's what they're saying.
Wow.
So so he killed 77 people total in this first movie. Insane. All right, Brian, continue.
All right. So after the church scene, I have my last one is I'm calling it like because I'm taking it off from 2 things: the escape of when Willem Dafoe helps him, saves him.
Okay, he gets captured.
Yeah,
At
for
the end
the
of the-
escape and then the killing of Yusuf.
Into
So
the compound.
because it's literally like in one thing, because when he gets out and then all of a sudden like Vigo tells him where his son's at and he's just like, they'll know you're coming. He's like, I know, it won't matter. And you're like, motherfucker, it's on. And then when they're like, because the kid's playing a fucking video game, playing that, like, he's like, turn that shit off. And then
a fucking sniper shot.
Shot through the head. I'm like, oh shit. Just how everything he did. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed in the kill of Yosef because, like, I know he didn't even bother like talking to him, and he just like the kid didn't even get to finish saying he was about to say it was just a dog, and then just popped him in the chest.
Yeah, really, I like that. I think it was better.
But yeah, I think that was the point.
That was like, yeah.
I'm not even gonna let you finish that sentence.
know,
That's how
but
much that fucking dog meant to
Yeah,
me.
you're nothing to me.
Yeah.
I know, but I honestly, like, I don't. I wanted him to like snap his neck. Like I just wanted him to like.
He's not worth it.
But how many? Like he read off those numbers, right?
No.
Was the statistics of how many did he kill by hand? No. The dude was a fucking.
No, I get it. But he killed guys.
Never have I seen somebody use a handgun the way this guy did.
No.
And so it only made sense that this guy went with a gun. The only thing that I didn't like was the lack of dialogue between them before and after.
But like I get it as a fact because he's a man of discipline. He's a man of focus. So like he doesn't talk. He doesn't do that sort of shit. He just goes and kills. Like so I understand that aspect.
Here I go killing again.
But you find out like obviously he's combat ready because he could fight and do all this sort of shit. And you see all these fucking moves like jiu-jitsu moves. Like he's doing everything and anything. It's not like he's just shooting at people left and right. Like he's fucking fighting guys. And he's doing jiu-jitsu. He's kicking guys. He's taking them down, and he's doing like firing carries.
But the gun is by far and away.
I get it. That's going to be your most effective kill. That's going to be your most effective kill.
Most
I
effective.
Get it. But he knows how to do everything. But my whole thing is, I wanted him to take it a little bit more personal and maybe just fucking snap his neck. That's the only thing I wanted. And be like, hey, I didn't like the kid.
You're raving about his efficiency.
Yes, I'm just saying.
This is the way.
But when it comes down to the one guy who ruined my second life.
Right, I get that. But this is your tried and true method of death.
I get it.
Right? And to me, that's why the dialogue should have been more.
Okay. Or maybe it's it should have been between the eyes.
Okay, I can give you that.
Okay.
Maybe a more dramatic shot.
Yeah.
Weapon fire. Okay. I'll give you that.
I can live on that. But like I said, it's that was the only thing I was a little disappointed on.
Or the gun's in the mouth and then he pulls it.
Whatever. Hey, I see a brain splatter. Whatever.
Right.
That kid fucking deserved it.
Right.
Fuck him. He sucks.
Because he runs his mouth, put the gun in the mouth so he can't talk and then pull it. Right. Something. Right.
I get it.
Would you prefer like an Arnold Schwarzenegger quote at the end? Who's dead now? Or something like that. I don't know.
But yeah, it's one of those things where that was the only part where I was a little disappointed in. That was it. Like I wanted him to make that kid suffer a little bit more. That was it. But everything else, fantastic. I don't have anything else after that. Because,
are you sure?
Yeah. I mean,
these past 20 minutes has been all about Brian.
I will jump in and comment on other scenes if you want me to.
This is the Brian Show, ladies and gentlemen. Now
like I said, I told you, I love this
podcast.
fucking movie, man. This is
it's good. No, yeah. Man. Listen, Nick, can't agree anymore.
I fucking love it.
All right, Nick.
I want more.
Nick, the ball's in your court.
After 8 scenes being discussed,
what else you got?
That's really and the one that I only really had one scene on this movie because I knew that. I thought between the two of you there was going to be a lot of scenes, but really it turned out to be just Brian was a lot of scenes. But for me, that first fight scene was really the scene that really defined the movie because
Tasker Crew.
Because exactly in his house. Because to me that like really let you know like up until that point it was like. Hearsay.
Kind of hearsay, yeah. Until you actually see it.
And then you see it.
I agree.
And not only that, but like I said, the way that he used, like you never seen somebody use a handgun like that. It just blew my mind.
I would say the
not and then in the fact a movie like that.
Right. And then in the fact that he also had all the different jiu-jitsu and this too and a fucking head to the fucking kitchen countertop. Like, just everything about it was just like, you knew in that moment, like, wow, man, you don't want to fuck with this guy.
Yeah.
Like this guy, this kid, Yusef just fucked up. Like you heard it up until that point and then you saw it.
But the fact is, like when going back to that, like that part of the scene, hearing everything before that and how they built him up, and he's like, this is John Wick. Like, and you just like,
right.
And
you're like,
this dude just killed 15 guys with no problem in 5 minutes. Like,
and then they tie in the comedic value and they bring in the cop, Jimmy, and that whole interaction.
Got a little noise complaint there, John. Just want to let you know out there.
Yeah.
But
you working? Like, no? Okay, have a good night there, John.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things like where it's like, oh wow, he is the guy. Like, it's just like you don't normally see that. Like sometimes they try to build characters up, but when they did this in this movie, it fully fucking works. And now it's John Wick, and there's everybody else.
Right.
John Wick and Jesus, man. Nah, okay.
He does have that Jesus look, and I'm not going to lie.
Actually, him and Obi-Wan Kenobi are like the two Jesuses they can portray.
Yeah.
So, Nick, what else? Got any other scenes you want to throw in there you might have?
Scenes wise, that's really all that I had written down because, like I said, I kind of figured that we were going to cover a lot talking.
I mean, if you want me to throw one more in, because I will.
Sure, throw it in. I'm gonna have to go.
I'll throw the sentimental scene of him taking the other dog at the end of the movie.
Yeah, the pit, the rescue.
Yeah.
Which is very random that there's like actually like you're on a harbor and the next day he
just happens to go to an
to
animal
the
hospital.
fucking hospital there.
But hey,
Sure.
Hey,
I never knew all that
it happens.
Yeah.
But he takes that dog home with him, and I'm like,
Kind of like all the other stuff that happens, you know.
It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. He's still Brian is still single. So
He's a lover, not
he's
a fighter.
a lover, as you can tell from this. Though he enjoys the action, but he is actually more of a lover. I might have to just go into like further in depth of these scenes. Since Brian got a lot of broad aspects. I want to say, how about the fact that before he goes into the bathhouse, the club scene, he goes sees that big ass Russian dude.
Kevin Nash.
That was him, right?
that was Kevin Nash.
Fuck yeah, I knew it. I couldn't think of his name right now.
I'm like another movie with Kevin Nash we're doing.
So, and all of a sudden he starts talking. He's like, he points a gun to me. He's like, "Hey, John,
Are you working?
you working?"
Yeah.
So, once again, that's why his character's so good.
I know. And then he lets
Everybody knows
and he
him.
lets him go. He's like, "Take the night off. Thank you."
Yeah.
He's
Thank you.
like, "Oh my god."
I love how he like has a little banter. He's like, you look like you lost some weight.
Yeah.
About 60 pounds.
Yeah, about
100 kilograms. But it was fantastic, and
It was. And all those little scenes in between. And then the fact that, like, again, with the police officer saying, "Are you working?" And then they were asking, he got asked again, like, everyone kept asking me, "Am I working? I think I'm back," when he gets pissed off. Then I love the interaction between him and Ian McShane.
Oh yeah,
Ian McShane's character, his voice alone, when he talks, when he puts, like, this, I guess, authority, but yet mentorship, when he called Jonathan, you know, "What are you doing?" And I'm not going to tell you that it's a certain helicopter is going to take
leaving off
off
a certain
certain helipad or something like that.
Right.
And I did like the fact that then again when he fights that hot chick, Adrian, I don't know her name,
Yeah.
Adrian
I
Palick.
just know her as Bobby from Marvel's Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, Adrian Palecki, and she's Mrs. Perkins.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's like, he goes to take it, and they're in the hallway. He's like, "Hey, John, you working again, or like everything all right and stuff like that in the hallway?"
it's like, I think I know you. I
Yeah,
think I know you too.
yeah. So that was good. And then what else happened? I'm trying to think off the
Oh,
top of my head.
Harry.
Yeah, Harry. Yeah, the guy who's over there because all the other assassins and stuff like they know what's going on. He's
Which, like, talking about, like, going down the rabbit hole with Brian where it keeps, you're like, well, how does he know this guy Harry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Like, they seem to be
they've been-
friendly,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
how everything
It's not
in
just
this
a
movie,
John Wick legend, you know?
know.
Yeah, like how everything in how they play off of all these characters to John Wick, because they all look at him when he comes into the Continental. They're all like, "Fucking John Wick," like, and they said he's been retired for 5 years. Like, he's a legend among this whole world that they live in. So they know he's the guy. And then when he comes in, they're like, "Oh shit, it has to be going down if he's in here." I mean, he's taking me out. Like, at some point, you probably have to think, like, could
Why
I be the
is he
guy?
here?
It's like,
Yeah.
why is he here?
I am never leaving the Continental.
Yeah. And then when you see them downstairs at the bar, like, everybody's just like still looking at him, like,
Right.
oh, you know. So, like, how they built him up was phenomenal. And I think that's one of the best character arcs of, like, how you could do it to make somebody, like, he's obviously not immortal because he obviously is getting hurt and shit like that, but it's phenomenal. Like, it's just everybody buys into, like, he's almost like he's literally like a superhero. He's literally Neo in real life.
Yeah, he is.
Basically what it is.
So, and then I'll throw another one in there. When they kill Miss Smith, when they just realize they bring
Oh,
her,
yeah,
they bring
I
her
love
out,
that. Yeah.
and then the 4 fucking dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, hands
so,
up. Yes, sir.
So for me, I have there's like 3 questions that just like burn me, right? They just, when I think about the questions, they burn me. And one of them is, why the fuck did she go to that meeting? When she got that call, she knew she broke the Continental's rule. When the dude from the Continental called, why did she go to that meeting?
She probably was young enough to not understand what's going to happen. Like, she knew something's going to happen.
I don't
How do
think it
you
matters.
not
I think
No.
that
to be
you're
honest
gonna
with
get fucking killed in that?
to be honest with you, they're finding her either way. Like, I don't think it matters. Like, they're finding
You
her
think
either way.
she just knew that
she's
She
dead.
might as well just get it done with and run.
That's why, because she took the contract and decided to kill him on continental grounds.
How long was she really going to survive?
I don't know. She's an assassin.
Listen, she was insane. Plain
John-
simple.
Right, who
Wick
took
would-
on John Wick? Like,
John Wick would have killed her. She was the only one who actually gave him a fight.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, why the fuck did she go to that meeting? That's one of the things that really just burns me.
Just like John Wick is being humanized, he gets jumped on him by her and by the fucking dudes. Gets hit by a bat. So if you're gonna face him like square on, you're gonna lose that every time. You have to sneak up on him, without a doubt. So but he did get help from his buddy.
Right.
When that's when also
She would have snuck on him if it wasn't for
She
Defoe.
would have fucked him up. She wasn't sure.
If it
So
wasn't for Marcus.
which is very interesting because he realized, all right, is this going
And
to be
also,
my kill?
he was
or not?
also wounded as well.
Yeah, because I mean,
Like,
at first he's got him in the snipes.
The sniper scope.
And then all of a sudden, it looks up and there she is, and you're like, okay. So then he goes. You think he's gonna go back to try and get him real quick, and then he goes for the pillow, and it's like, did he realize that he wasn't gonna get his kill in that moment, and that's why he went for the pillow instead to try to get Wick to get her out of the way so he can get that kill in? You know?
You're very
that's
unsure
it,
at that time. Okay. All right, that's what I got for the for scenes. Brian took most of them, but yeah, listen, I agree with all of them, hands
sorry.
down. No, not one. Sorry, one bit. So I loved it. I enjoy your passion. Really
listen,
showing.
I said, I fucking love this movie, man.
So-
I'm surprised Marcus getting killed wasn't one of yours.
So actually, you know what? I can understand. People suck. Animals are way better. You enjoy the animals. I understand.
Listen,
Just because of like.
don't get me wrong. I love the Willem Dafoe character, and it was just like I could have put it in there, and I almost wanted to. He's in the movie, but he's not in enough where I'm fully invested in Marcus.
Right.
Like
Got you.
don't get me wrong. I like him, and I like how he is with John Wick, and there's obviously something which I want to know more. So
Right.
when we get to later in this podcast of like what could happen, maybe we could find out what those two guys have done beforehand.
They were lovers. Anyway, so favorite
You mean
quotes.
like in chapter 2 or 3 of John Wick's? Did they go?
No.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Previous to the original John Wick.
Got you.
favorite quotes. Brian, hold your horses.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna bring it over to Nick on this one. Nick, favorite quotes. What do you got
This
from
is
it?
actually a good transition because we were just talking about Marcus, and one of my first quotes is Marcus talking to John Wick. I believe it was at the funeral, and he says, "There's no rhyme or reason to this life." Like, and just hits home because it really isn't. Like we always think as humans we've got it figured out, but we have no fucking clue. So that just really, for me, that was a big one. And then they said when John Wick first meets Yusuf at the gas station, and Yusuf was like something about any bitch can be bought or something like that.
Yeah.
And then John Wick real quick replies back, "Not this bitch."
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
And then we talked. Somebody, I think it was either Jay or you, mentioned the John Leguizamo quote about because he stole John Wick's car and killed his dog, and then it wasn't so much that, it was just Vigo's response of, "Oh,
Yeah.
like, oh shit."
Yeah. First off, he had to hear it was like John Wick.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh. And we're done.
Yep. And that's it. Phone click. Didn't even say bye. Nothing. Just click the phone. Like, what the fuck am I going to do now?
Yeah. But like I said, going into this whole thing, like how they build up the character.
Yeah.
It's the greatest build-up I've ever heard.
And that was a phenomenal job of building it up. Like,
it just works. Everything you talk about him, and you're just like, and then when he does all these killings and everything into it, you're like, all right, this is what you're talking about. It's not like we're getting some phony version of like, oh, this guy could have done this. No, he didn't.
right.
I've seen him kill him with a pencil.
3 guys.
Fucking pencil.
Pencil.
But yeah, no, it's so good. Like,
And then, so we already talked about the Jimmy comment of you working again, so I'm not going to go over that. And then the last one that I've got is when John Wick walks in to the hotel. I think it was after the bathhouse scene, and he goes up to Sharon and he's like, "How good is your laundry?"
Yo, with
And,
blood.
and Sharon's like, "I'm sorry to say that no one is that good."
That's actually, yeah, I like that one. You know, it's actually kind of funny for me how much I love this movie. I really don't have a lot of quotes. Like, I only wrote like 4 down. Bastard. In this movie. Because, like, I think the best part of these quotes are when they're just describing John Wick. And I think those are my favorites. But with the one quote that I do like from John Wick is like, I think it's after he kills in the bathhouse the first guy, and he's like, everything's got a price. And it was like, oh yeah, like, just because they told him, he's like, the fucking little shitty kid Yosef was like, everybody's got a price. And then when he uses it back on them, I'm like, yeah, fuck you. But I will do like Vigo. Vigo is really the one who has most of my quotes. So like I have like pretty much 2 of them, and it's like another one with him and John Wick. So the one with him and John is like, they know you're coming, and John Wick's like, of course, but it won't matter. And like that's, you know, like at the end. But Vigo is like, John is a man of focus, commitment, sheer will, something you know very little about. And I'm just like, because his son sucks. Like, let's be honest. Like, he's
a rich boy little bitch.
Yep.
He's a fucking cunt.
And then basically in the same thing, because like it's kind of broken down to, is like, John will come for you, and you will do nothing because you can do nothing. So get the fuck out of my sight. But I was like, how, once again, like I've been saying this whole time, the build up.
Yes,
exactly. And it just sums him up perfectly. And what they do leaves you like, John Wick's the man. Like, he is. Like, they built him up to this, and he fucking lived up to it. Like, you could say, I know other movies, they build you up to something and they don't do it. But no, this one fucking leaves you as, this guy is the fucking man. And everybody in this whole entire universe is like,
English,
John.
man. How many times do I have to tell you, Vigo? English.
Like, John Wick is a man, is a legend among men.
He got 5 championships, I think. 5
He's
championships.
6 for 6. 6 MVPs, bro.
So I have to. I know I left real quick to go take a quick piss and then get my another beer. I'd like to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, I actually called out of work tomorrow.
So how do you like that, though? Is that your first time having?
It's my first time actually. So the next beer I decided to have, as opposed to anyone else, because I'm not going to work tomorrow. It's going down nice. AK-47 from Icarus Brewing. The reason why I chose this, because again, AK-47. So it's a Russian Imperial Stout. So in order to tie it in with the John Wick and the Russians going on here, I thought this is perfect. It's very similar to the one we had earlier, but the toffee is not in it. So it has the, break it down. So coconut, macadamia nuts, coffee, and honey. Was it honey? I can't read the last part. It's getting blurry at this point.
Good thing you called out.
So I can't read.
And that's before you had that.
I know. And it's
20/20 vision.
and
My
this
ass.
is a so it's only 12 ounces, but it's a 14.5%.
Oh, it's
So
you're gonna feel like you're in another world after that.
so yeah.
I just having one of those alone. There's nights where I have one of those thinking I'm gonna have a second, and I'm done, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna sit with one.
So this thing is I hit it hard tonight. So this is very nice. And on to my quotes. I want to say I agree with everything. I want to say go back to Nick. I want to throw that as in scenes where when you realize John Wick, you're not sure what's going on. He just drove around the airport. Next, goes to fill up his awesome fucking muscle cart, and then realize it's for sale, and he just starts talking Russian to the guy. You're like, oh fuck, yes,
Not this bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was one of my quotes.
Yeah, as you quote, I said I wanted to go there for scenes. I forgot about it because Brian took all those scenes, and I just wanted to.
I know you get distracted.
I know you're
right?
distracted. I want to break it down to the smaller scenes, so I enjoyed that one. Then again,
It's my bad.
And then
That's sorry.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
so, but the interesting part is the fact during this movie, we had in all the other previous movies that like the main character had a lot of like good quotes, especially Denzel Washington. When we did his trilogy, pretty much Denzel Washington was the star, and he had pretty much every line he said out of his mouth was fantastic. But in this
Keanu's
one,
the opposite.
Keanu was the exact opposite.
In every movie.
in every movie. Because like as
Even
Neo,
in the
as
Matrix,
in
how
Point,
much does he talk?
yeah, I think he had
we
more
quoted
lines.
Morpheus than everybody else.
Yeah.
Yes, so he had more lines quotable in Point Break than he did in combined these past two movies.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very interesting. So I want to go with again Vigo. The fucking nobody is John Wick. He once was in Associate Hours. They call him Baba Yaga. I love that. As you probably see.
Baba Yaga.
And then with Jimmy, you're working again. And then I love Winston. One of his ones was, have you thought this through? I mean, chewed down to the bone. You got out once.
That's a good one.
You dipped so much as a pinky back into this pond, you may well find something reaches out and drags you back into its depths.
Yep.
So I loved Winston. He again, Ian McShane.
He's only in the movie like 7 minutes.
Yeah. It's
I don't even think it's that much.
not even, and everything was powerful what he said.
Yeah.
So that's what I got for quotes. So let's move on to the movie awards. Best quote. I'm gonna nominate. I don't know what you guys feel about this, but I want to say Vigo with that fucking nobody is John Wick. He once was an associate of ours. They call him Baba Yaga. That's so like, come on, like I can't explain the fact that like you realize this is what's going on and everything. What happened? Like it builds up. Like he's the guy that kills the boogie. Is it what the boogeyman? No, he kills the fucking boogeyman.
Yeah. Like
So when they explain John,
for the severity of the movie and everything, it's like, yeah, that I feel like that probably should be the best because like how it sets John up. Like
it encompasses everything as a whole. But
He's-
like if there's
he's-
something easier to say,
he's the
I have
top
no
dog,
idea.
and that's it, and no one's close. Like that's it. I still will like the one that is like everything's got a price when John kills the one friend of the guy of
Yeah, in the
Yosef,
bathhouse in the beginning. Yeah.
because it was a revenge, but it was just like they said it to him, and then it was just like how when he sends it back after killing him, it's like
Yeah. Enjoy.
got him.
So Brian, that's what you're going with. Nick, what do you think you're going with?
I think I gotta go with Jay.
No, I'm with Jay.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
just
I
saying
gotta
like
go with Jay.
the Baba Yaga thing, because I've been saying the whole fucking podcast.
You
Baba
started
Yaga.
last podcast is what going on. I didn't realize how much of a fucking as much as we're brothers. I didn't realize how much of this really like impacted your life. So it's just crazy, ladies and gentlemen.
I
Again,
love this movie.
he loves this movie, and this movie brings out his like passion. He's actually I never seen him so just like this, and how
For those of you who don't know, who weren't here as part of what we were going to do for the trilogy, Brian loves this movie so much that he would have done it over The Matrix. Just to let you know that he loves this so much that for him it deserved a part of the trilogy more than he ranked it higher than The Matrix. So and you know how highly we all three of us talked about The Matrix.
I love the Matrix.
And for that's like just to give you how high he loves, like he really loves this movie.
I'm telling you right now, the Matrix, Point Break, and John Wick. I like literally. I'm putting all those movies at 9s, but I'm still scoring John Wick the best out of those 3.
I see.
That's what I'm saying. Like
No, I
John Wick
got
is
you.
probably a 9.5 for me because I love this. It's so simple, but it's so
Yeah.
fucking good.
I know. I guess.
And I probably should have thrown that in for the behind the scenes of this movie, but you know.
Yeah, with that, that's in a
doesn't
sense.
matter.
That's where Brian and I differ. The Matrix. I am. That's my number one.
I'm engulfed in this world. I want to know more.
No.
This
Yeah.
movie wants me, leaving me wanting to want more. Right? I'm just like, oh,
So I
good.
see.
That's how I am with Matrix.
Yeah,
Like, I
exactly.
want to know
It's
more.
not-
I do.
It's, not,
yeah.
it's not that I don't. It's the same in the Matrix, but this one is two steps above the Matrix for me.
Right.
So,
And
hey.
I'm just saying that where you are with Wick, that's where I am with the
Okay,
Matrix.
it's fine.
Like that's all, and right. It's
No, it's
nothing
your
to
own.
knock. I'm just
And you know
giving
what?
you perspective of my perspective.
And think of this: Shane, who would get guests, who were our guests on the first podcast this trilogy. That's where he is with Point Break.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing for Shane.
I wish he was here for this one
I
because
would.
he's not fully into John Wick. He's only seen it like once or twice. So like I wanted to hear his perspective because I know he's not on the level that I'm at, and he's probably not
I don't
even on
think
the level
anyone
you
is.
guys are at. But it's just one of those things like I wanted to hear his contrast of what he was going to say compared to what I
All
said.
right, so maybe he'll comment on us. We'll see
Yeah.
what's going on. All right, moving on. Best scene. It's tough, but you know what? I'm going to nominate the bathhouse nightclub scene. Straight up awesome killing. The kung fu. You know, before we go in, I remember you said you never seen anyone do this kind of stuff with like you and Nick as well, with like the guns and the shooting. The closest this was done before, there was a movie called Equilibrium. Came out during a time frame of The Matrix. but he got pushed in the back because the Matrix was so phenomenal. It was I can't think of his name. He played the Terminator. He played in The Prestige. He played in he was Batman.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Thank you very much. It just escaped me. Listen, this fucking AK-47 is now fucking my mind up. So Christian Bale was the star of it, and so was I can't think of his name. He was also not Tyrese Gibson, but another black actor who was also a singer. I want to say you guys will never know this. He played in My Little Pony, the movie, because I know that because of my kids. Thank you. Fuck.
The power of Google. It's the power of Google and IMDb.
Fucking back me up, Nick. So
Ty Diggs.
yes, Tay Diggs.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
He was like another there. That was kind of very similar, and they did a lot of. It's called Gun Fu, was what it was. Very similar to John Wick, but John Wick takes it to another level. That was more like futuristic. This one's a lot more believable in a sense. So I want to say that. As now going back, bathhouse nightclub scene, my favorite scene. What you guys got going on, Brian? What you got?
Tasker Crew.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you, Brian. And I'm gonna tell you the only reason that I disagree with you, Jay, is the unrealistic thing of being thrown over. That just really tainted that whole bathhouse thing.
So what do you think? That was probably like what, maybe 12 feet up high when he fell off the roof?
It was up a second floor.
20 feet. I don't know, man.
20 feet.
Yeah, it was high enough that
He's not getting up just like that.
Yeah,
But he didn't, though. He laid down.
No, come on, man.
All right, guys.
He's still either way. He still shouldn't get up like
honestly,
that.
like that, if they didn't show that scene, it would be tough. It would be tough for me to choose between the two. But because of that one thing, I got to go with that first scene. Because and go ahead, but I think we're gonna say the same thing. So go ahead.
So basically, for why I say it is because of the lead up to that.
Exactly.
And it's just basically like how they're like, oh, he built this for us, and he's like, how many can you get?
Right.
And they go, and
scene is
he wipes them out in 5 minutes.
Right. It's the fruition of everything that they've talked. Everything before that was talk.
Yep, exactly.
And now in that scene, everything comes to fruition, and you see what the fuck John Wick can do.
You could see off the first fucking kill.
Yep.
Like the first fucking kill, he's like headshot, chest shot.
Yep.
And you're like, fuck, this guy don't fuck around.
Yeah.
And it's like literally the first 3-4 guys just chest head. And you're like, fuck this. And you're like, he's a fucking man.
Yeah.
Like you just know. And that's my main reason why I take that scene.
I want to tell you throughout the movie.
And I love that kill over.
And then we finish it off with Jimmy the cop.
Yeah. I love
with a little comedic value.
Yes. I love how he shoots him to the chest and then shoots him in the head after throughout the entire movie. Because he's like, I don't want them coming back to get shot from behind. Because you know what? You don't realize the adrenaline when someone's coming in this and happens. I love it. It's such like an absolute.
Right.
So he knows.
He's so clear-minded.
He's so clear,
that he's ensuring that they're not coming after him.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
100%.
Okay.
But he lives up to the bill right off the bat, after the first kill in that scene. And I'm like, yep, this is why they call him Baba Yaga. I get it. And I'm like, now I am 100% invested in this movie.
All right, gotcha. All right, so Brian.
It definitely draws you in that scene.
Yeah.
100%.
Without a doubt.
Are you sure it wasn't it when he got the dog? All right. All right, so best scene. We got that done. Best character, Randy Watson Award. Who are we going with the Randy Watson Award in this? This is very tough. I may have changed myself in this. Because first I had Marcus, William Dafoe's character. But then I thought, I'm like, as I'm going on, I'm like, Ian McShane.
Yeah.
With him, I'm like, God damn. I like him a lot.
It's too obvious to say John Wick because he lives up to the bill.
He does, but you know what?
But he's on another side.
He like transcends best character. So he's like ultimate character. He's like
you can't put it in, but just going
his final form, Super Saiyan. I don't know if you guys know about that. Anyway, so
just putting it on the Randy Watson Award going on because he's short time frame.
It was the cop. I know it.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
That may be Nick's vote. But
Jimmy, we are police officer friendly. Back to blue. We love you guys. Thank you for protecting us.
he was great, but I'm gonna have to say, fucking Ian McShane, man, the manager.
Winston.
I think
it was Winston.
About 5 minutes of airtime.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Winston.
Really?
Yeah, Winston.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He has. I might have thought I may have changed my vote. As I'm talking about him
love
later on.
everything about him.
I do
in that character, and he once again, and just like John Wick, he leaves you.
He's just as mysterious because when you think about it, because you're like
you wanting more because it's like I could say make this hit. I could say this is happening here. You don't know how he knows all this sort of stuff, so it's just like I want to know more about him. And at 5-6 minutes, and he's in the movie, and the powerful lines that he's delivering, and whatever he's doing.
I want to say it makes you think that maybe he was an assassin back in the day. He realized we need to establish some more rules, and so he said, "Let's have a neutral ground." And he got that Continental Hotel going up and shit like that. Fuck, you know what? Prequel. Let's do this.
It could be like you don't know, because,
or it's just that he has so much power that he knows what's going
exactly.
on.
Like,
yeah, you have no idea. So Nick, what do you think?
I got one word: Vigo.
You're not wrong with that either. Vigo's
to
good.
Me,
like,
he is.
Vigo.
He was a backup for
just
me.
Everything that he did.
He's a great bad guy. Like he
did a phenomenal. I don't even hate him as a bad guy. Sometimes you hate the bad guy.
Yeah.
I don't even hate him as a bad guy.
His son is the bad guy. Like he's a bad guy too, but his son is technically the bad guy.
Maybe a bad guy, but
he's still a bad guy.
He's still a bad guy.
Right.
But how he works,
just
his
like,
deliverance,
right,
on everything, and it's just like, oh yeah, I get it.
Because he killed,
You're not
because he
wrong,
stole
and
John Wick's car and killed his dog.
He was 2 for me, but I had to go. I had to go with Winston because
I get it.
I just want to know more. Like
I get it.
I kind of get a little bit more of like what's going on. He's you
don't want to know what Wick had to do to lay that foundation for him. Like that doesn't like when he says that. Like what did Wick have to do?
There's so many things that we could go.
Is it like Godfather style where Wick went in and killed the other heads of the families?
Like what could happen?
Like what is that? Like what did he do? Like that doesn't draw you in. That Vigo had the sense of what had to you know what I'm saying? Like.
Listen,
he could have been some scrub who just thought like I'm gonna have Wick do these couple low hits, but to have that like
he
vision,
took out dudes. He took out people. He probably had to kill like a family, like sort of deal. Like
that's what I'm saying.
But when we get into like, could this be another scene? Like not another scene, like a prequel or whatever? Like. That's when I'll start talking about that because there's stuff because they leave you open to plenty of interpretation in this movie with the whole background that they leave on this whole entire universe.
All right,
so
let's bring it in stuff like that. So we got that. So you know what? I think it's pretty down to 2 for best character. Probably go to the Twitterverse, see what's going on.
It's a toss up.
It is. You're not wrong with either. Hands down. Adrian Balboa, worst character.
Yosef.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yosef.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy I want to punch in the face.
Sucks.
I knew.
Yeah.
He sucks.
Yeah.
He
sucks. Like he just has that look. God, I just want to fucking curb stop him.
Yep.
Yeah, I would think that a close second for me is the one friend who you thought was kind of trying to protect Yosef, but then when he was the first kill at the bathhouse, how he turned into you could see he was just another fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
So he would be a number 2 for me.
Bathhouse.
Right.
Yeah.
So he would be a number 2, but definitely Yosef, like definitely.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Yeah.
But I agree on that, on the second friend. Like I can't remember his name right now, but whatever. He was like how quick he turned on his boy. Like he's in the bathhouse. Like you're gonna die.
Yep.
Like well, it doesn't matter. You're dead anyway.
Yep.
So good. You fuck you.
Victor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was him. So Victor was number 2. And listen, I agree with that. Yosef was sucked. He sucked here. He sucked in Game of Thrones. So fuck him. As much as like, you know what? He's a good actor. So I watch Game of Thrones. He's a good actor that you want to hate him. So you hate him in both of these. So that's what we got for there. You know what? Let's take a break. We've been going on pretty hard, Brian. Exactly. So we'll come back and we'll finish up with the rest of this podcast. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Booyah, Bobby Yaga. Well, if you're looking to heal, then keep it marginal. However, if you still have business to attend to, take 2 of these beforehand. Your stitches will tear and you'll bleed. but you have full function. Do you need anything else for the pain? John Wick, after he got fucking stitched up, has got more work to do.
Nah,
So
I'm okay.
Yeah.
He's got like the bottle of fucking whiskey with him.
Yep. I got this for the pain. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Reels, Booze, and Bros, a.k.a. RB2. We're going to wrap this up. So, behind the scenes, I'll start off. According to Keanu Reeves, he did 90% of his own stunts in the film.
Connie Reeves?
Yeah, oh my God, listen.
Sorry, I had to call that out. I was waiting for Brian. The only reason there was a delay was because I'm like, Brian's not going to call that out. But I had to call it out. So who was it that said it?
Fuck you. Listen, I'm fucking done.
14% my ass.
Listen, I had a lot. I got a lot of fucked up. I called out of work, so I'll make sure I did the right thing. It's going to be a rough day tomorrow. So Keanu Reeves, fuck you. Did 90% of his work. So, all right. Director Chad, I can't pronounce this. Stileski was also Keanu Reeves' stunt double in The Matrix in the movies. So interesting. Yes, right there. Okay. Keanu Reeves also learned and memorized the nightclub fight sequence the day that the scene was filmed.
Get out of here.
I don't know. That's what it says. I found that on the internet, but that's fucking fantastic.
Well, if the internet says
It's all fact.
It's all true. So, now, going on what I said earlier, beginning the movie. So this story is loosely inspired by an incident in Texas involving former Navy SEAL Marcus Luttrell. If you remember him, he wrote Lone Survivor, the movie Marcus Luttrell. Lone Survivor. It was about his fire team's ordeal during Operation Red Wings in Afghanistan in 2005. Luttrell was given a yellow Labrador puppy whom he named Daisy after the members of his fire team. On April 1st, 2009, about 1 a.m., Luttrell was awakened by a gunshot and saw 4 men drive away. Daisy was dead in his yard from a gunshot wound. He armed himself with the two 9mm Beretta pistols and chased the men through 4 counties in his truck until police apprehended them. They taunted Luttrell, threatened to kill him, and indicated no remorse for their actions. They were later sentenced for animal cruelty. Luttrell stated that later, "I spared them because I've killed enough people already." So this movie was loosely based on Marcus Luttrell, which was a phenomenal American Navy SEAL. And if I urge you to see Lone Survivor, is a movie with Mark Wahlberg, and he actually starred in it as himself, Marcus Luttrell in there. No, he was in it. Yeah, he was in there as someone else, as another Navy SEAL.
He's in it. He's not.
Yes, he didn't star as himself, but there was like him and a couple other guys. Fantastic. I read the book. Amazing. So check that out. Okay, so now back on behind BTS. During the safe house scene, the character's username displayed in the top right is Neo. This is a reference to Keanu Reeves' character in The Matrix. So when the dude was playing the video game, he said Neo in the top right, so it was very nice, interesting. And I love, this is Reels, Booze, and Bros. So booze is not just only beer, which 90% of the time we drink. I'm more of a whiskey drinker, so the whiskey John Wick drinks throughout the film is Blanton's Bourbon. So I might have to pick that up. I should have got this.
You're not getting Blanton's.
Yeah, it's too expensive.
No, it's impossible to get around here.
Okay.
You basically got to know a guy, like you got to know the owner, and when it comes in, he's got to put it on the side because it like sells out immediately.
You got to know a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah. Blanton's is really good. I've had it.
Okay.
It's one of the best bourbons you'll ever have.
Yeah, fuck. All right, so I'll try in my lifetime, hopefully. We'll see. So that's what I got for.
Would you expect anything else from John Wick?
No,
not one bit.
No.
So he gives a gold coin, gets like 10 bottles. All right. So anyone else got a little BTS? Nick, I'm pretty sure you don't. Brian?
Nope.
No,
Brian.
I mean, I wish I did.
You were too focused on the film to realize there was shit that happened.
But
behind the film,
like if you were to go look and just go on YouTube and watch like Keanu Reeves training for the John Wick, not only 1 but 2 and 3, and see the stuff that he does, and you see why he does the 90% of the stunts and the gun work and everything. Like he is a legit fucking badass. Like
he puts in work. He knows
he does,
it,
and it's
gonna make the movie better.
And you see these guys, and you talk to they talk to experts, and like, oh, Keanu Reeves is a guy, like he fucking knows what he's doing, like, cause he's getting trained by like fucking, like CIA, Navy SEALs sort of deal guys that know how to do this shit. He's holding the gun the right way. It's not like he's just trying to do it because it's comfortable for him. He's doing it the right way, like what you're supposed to be doing.
It's believable. We actually trained this.
So
and stuff like that. So
it's unbelievable to see it, and like it's great. So
okay, I got you. Listen,
that's how that goes.
All right, calm down, Brian. We know how much you love this movie. All right, so now the RB2 question of the podcast: can The Rock make this movie better?
No.
I have to agree. I don't think no, but I said this. I can see him being an assassin at the Continental talking shop with John.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. But that's it. Like,
that's it.
He's not making the movie better.
No.
Or
It's
as
a cameo.
the head bodyguard, the one that hits Wick. You think if maybe Rock plays that role,
I could believe that.
he can mix it a little better.
believe
I can
that.
see that. I can see
Right?
that.
Like to me, that was the only one watching it that I thought.
prefer
like,
him more as an assassin when it goes back to when he was when he started his action career film with
Scorpion King.
No, not the Scorpion King. Further on when he did what was it? He was with Stifler.
When
It'll come to me. We'll go back to it.
He's supposed to. He's like basically Stifler's his bounty.
Yes.
But not to kill. He's got to bring him back to his dad, and the dad's like Christopher Walken, right?
Yep.
No, Christopher Walken was the diamond.
The diamond.
The
guy.
diamond guy,
okay,
stuff like that.
okay.
He was like, and he had to bring his dad, like a rich guy who owned him. And said all he wanted to do was he wanted to retire and open up a restaurant.
Yes.
I keep thinking Walking Tall, but it wasn't Walking
No,
Tall. It'll
it's
come
not
back to me.
Walking Tall.
So, but
That's
yes,
another movie
that
he
one.
did.
Anyway, so it'll come back to me at the end of the podcast.
It's gonna come back to me when I Google it.
All right. So next question: should there be a sequel franchise TV series? Obviously, there is, without a doubt.
Yes, and yes. You could do so much with this movie, like because of the universe they opened. They could give you a ton of different of ways to get this down. So there's a rumor that they're supposed to have a series on Stars with the Continental, and it's with Ian McShane.
I think it got canceled actually.
So, but there was a rumor that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, it was supposed to happen.
So I don't know. It could have been pre-COVID, and then I don't know what happened. But that's a deal that could have happened, and you can learn all about the hotel and how everything goes down. That is phenomenal.
I tell you what,
I wanted to learn more about the previous. You could have gave me a prequel of what John Wick needed to do to get out of that society.
so just make a movie about him getting the ultimatum and say, listen, if you want to be done with this, I'll grant you this.
I will tell you right now, like how this has to happen. You need if you're going to do a prequel of that, it has to be 3 movies because you need to see John Wick coming up, like how he gets into this world, right? So you have to see him like as a child, boy, whatever, moves over to USA, whatever, because he's from not Russia, but he's somewhere around there, and as he builds himself up, and the second one becomes he's started to become one of the better guys. And then the third one is he's the top guy, and then all of a sudden he wants to get out because he meets his wife and he wants to fall in love. And they can leave it at the end of the second going into the third with that, and then all of a sudden the third is they give you that impossible task with what Vigo gives you, which we don't know. You just hear the bodies he buried that day. So that's that could be a John Wick 3 movies right there, trilogy, like prequel trilogy.
Yeah, so basically the prequel
Like a Star Wars, yeah,
exactly. So the pre-trilogy.
But would you not buy into that because of what we know now?
I'd buy into it.
Right?
Shut up, take my money.
Yeah.
You got it.
Same thing.
Hands down.
But also knowing about the Continental.
I would love to see like more Continental. I would want like a series.
That's a series.
I want to see how Ian McShane, Winston, creates the Continental. 'Cause I want to say he was an assassin. Then he said, like, listen, we need more rules and let's make a neutral ground. So let's do this. Because he probably was the best. In order for him to get that, he had to be the best at his time. He had to be the John Wick, but not as good as killing as John Wick was, to have that kind of pull and power to create that hotel, to say, listen, this is the fucking middle ground where no killing happens and everyone can be at my hotel, and it's a neutral zone. It's the green zone in Baghdad, plain and simple. This is what it is. where nothing shit happens in the green zone. But you get what I'm fucking talking about.
Or could it be maybe he wasn't that, but back in the 70s and 80s, people could have respected that this was a place where kills don't happen, and in that time he had masked all this power. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
There's a couple
because
there's so many. Yes.
like maybe
I can
he
see that
wasn't.
as
It's
well.
just that he was a forward thinker and provided an opportunity that wasn't already there at a time when people would appreciate it. And by the time that we have people like, I don't know what her name is, Mrs. What is
Perkins.
her name? Perkins. By the time people like her start coming around who don't appreciate that, he's got the power to eliminate those
obviously,
people,
like-
thus furthering
because there's probably
the
one in-
legacy of how you don't do that there.
Because there's probably one hotel. There's obviously the Continental's in New York for that one. There's probably one in LA.
Yeah.
There's probably one in fucking
Well,
Europe.
I'm sure there's
like, and then I think they go out
as you
throughout.
go on in 2 and 3. There's the next Continental he goes into is in Rome, and that's in 2.
So
Yeah,
yes.
I'm sure they're all over this country and the world. Yeah.
So, yeah. So like you could see like how it gets brought into. So like maybe his power and influence, he's talking to supposedly the families and the high table.
Right.
So like he gets into this, engulfed into this world. So yeah, that's what I said. Like I would want a prequel on the Continental and a series of like how that becomes that, and it becomes a safe haven for all these assassins.
Yep.
You know.
We can see that. Okay. So let's wrap it down. Let's bring it back. So let's bring it to our final thoughts. I love this movie. I know Brian's gonna talk forever. I love this. I love this movie. Nick, you go. Like give a sentence, then Brian will get the next 5 minutes, and so
I think it's a good movie. I think it's nonstop action. I think the way that it definitely changed action movies in the what was it, 2011 this came out, right?
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
So up until that point you never really saw action with the handgun. I feel
to that extent.
Yeah, to that extent. It was
Like that.
never like that, like a primary weapon. It was always like fumbling and trying to get that kill in out of desperation, not as the primary weapon,
You kind of take the meaning of one shot, one kill in this
Yeah.
movie. Like it's, even though he does do like the double tap,
Right.
But it's like he's mostly shooting you straight on headshot. You're pretty much dead, but he's still popping in the
Yeah,
chest to
yeah.
make sure, like no matter what. But
I mean, I don't ever remember seeing. I mean, I've seen action movies with different kind of action, but nothing like that. Like that was the first, so it was revolutionary for me in that way. But yeah, I mean, good movie. It's nice because I feel it's one of those movies that you don't have to like sit down and stare at to understand. Like you could just watch it.
Agreed.
And pick it up and let it go, and pick it up and let it go, and you're going to be entertained from start to finish, and you're not going to be really concerned with what you missed.
no, I get it. And like for me, like I agree on that. Like I just kind of want to be like simple on this whole thing. Like it's an easy story to follow.
Yeah,
You don't have to like
100%. It's got that in
rethink.
spades.
It's boom.
Yep.
It happens, whatever. You move on. And the thing is about this movie is they want you to know more about everything. And how they set up the John Wick character, how they set up the Winston character, how they set up the Continental. Like I want to know more about this whole entire world. And like you said, the action sequences are some of the best action sequences I've ever seen in movies. The hand-to-hand combat, the shooting combat, like it's just top notch. And for them to get that, how they did it was fucking unbelievable. So,
I mean, like I said, if I'm Vigo, though, I'm wondering why nobody's got their gun unholstered. I'm spending all this money on these thugs, and nobody's coming to a gunfight with a gun. I don't understand that, but
the cool thing about this movie is like, I can't picture really anybody else in any of these roles that the people that are playing. So like, I think it was perfectly cast and just like the whole world, the whole universe that they're creating is, to me, fully believable. And I'm engulfed in the center of it, and I just want to be a part of it, you know. And that's like, to get into a movie that much. It doesn't happen that often, but it's one of those things where this one does, and I'm like, I love it. And like I said, Keanu Reeves is phenomenal in this movie. He's not going to win you an Academy Award. I know that.
No, not one bit.
But I will tell you, when he's going to do his action sequences and all that shit, he's going to fucking put his heart into it. And he could give me an Academy Award for that. But like I said in the beginning of this podcast, I did see his best acted scene that I've ever seen him pull off is after when he first gets a dog. And for me, that will always get me. And I love this movie. So it's on. I'm watching it, and no regrets.
Okay. No.
Well, give me John Wick 12. I'm in.
You know what? Fast and Furious. Take a back seat. John Wick is now coming up to this.
Yeah, if
he's
Fast
not
and Furious,
far behind.
Yeah.
We're talking about getting up to 5.
If
You know
Fast
what?
and
What are
Furious
we
is
at,
on
9?
9, John Wick could easily get to 10.
Easily.
This movie's got way more substance than that shit.
Yeah.
So
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, so that was our final review and our thoughts. So, next podcast, that ends the Keanu Trilogy. I hope I said that right, Nick. Did I say
You're
it right?
good. No Connie. Not Connie this
You
time.
motherfucker. So, so our next podcast, in order to be like, we're a little bit late with baseball, but we're with Major League. I hope you are all ready. Major League is a fantastic, hysterical movie.
classic.
Yes, classic. And that's what we got for this podcast. So again, check us out at reelsboozebros.com, and you'll find everything there. And that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers. Guys, take care.